Dalwai sir, BVG sir, Yashirvedhi sir, good to see you all back, because I think I'm like an alien in this crowd. Nobody knew me after I passed out of the school, and probably nobody knew me when I was in the school as well. After 74, I got lost into the civil society, not knowing what to do, how to do, and I didn't even know whether my schooling at Sainik School Bijapur was of any, did it make any sense in my life? Because Dalwai sir has told me to share my entire journey. So I'll start from even before joining the school. So we were, typical children in villages where we used to play those gooti. And whenever the teacher used to come in that street, we used to all hide. We were shy and afraid of our teachers. We used to respect them a lot. But one of those days, that same headmaster came to my house, told my father, this is the form, and why don't you fill this for your child? We can send him to Sainik School if he passes the test. I was hiding behind a cupboard. I didn't want to come out. And then he called me twice, I didn't come out. Then again, third time he called me. He said, your headmaster is calling you, better come out. I came out and he asked me, he wants you to take on this exam for Sainik School. I said, what is that? I don't know, and I don't want to go anywhere. He said, no, they give 2 biscuits in the morning for tea. I said, then let me think over. And that's how the journey started. We gave the exam, got through. There was no vacancies in Satara Sainik School, so I had to move to Bijapur. I am originally from Satara district, but I had to come to Bijapur. And again, no Kannada, no English, we were only Marathi people. And we passed through that 7 years journey out to school. Not a very known person in my batch as well. But when I came out and found myself totally lost in the civil society, my schoolmates whom I had left in the 4th standard were still there. They were doing a little better because they were all well known in the society and all that, and I was not a lost person. But then 1 year of that confusion, I came out of it. In 1975, I took up engineering. I became a mechanical engineer. And while I was in the hostel, I could gather a lot of confidence from my colleagues and seniors and all that. You have got to do something in life, and to do that you have to go to a place where the things happen, not remain in your village or in your district and all that. And the only place where I could afford to go was Pune. And when I came to Pune, I met again some of my relatives and friends, and they said, no matter what happens, your feet should be in Pune only, whether you get a job or you don't get a job. So at the end of my academic career, these campus interviews do happen everywhere. So we had 5-6 corporates coming into, and because of school education, I used to be well dressed, put on my shoes, put a tie and all that. Only question they used to ask me is, are you a general secretary of this college? I said no. Are you a SGS, social gathering secretary? No. Okay. When can you come and join? That was the third thing. They used to give me that offer. So I was given an offer by Bharat Forge. I was given an offer by Tata Telco. In those it was called Tata Motors, was called Telco. And I was given an offer by Greaves. So I had 3 offers. I joined Bharat Forge after my college. From there I didn't like that job. Then I joined Tata Motors. Tata Motors also I didn't like the job. The profile was not good. Then finally Ruston was not very attractive. Somebody gave me a reference of Mathur & Platt India Limited. That was a British company. And when I went there, I saw everything. It was not a very big company, but one could really get exposure to the entire business and how it works and all that. So there was one Mr. Rasam. I gave him my profile, and he just read the profile and said, you are from Sainik School. Join from tomorrow as a trainee engineer. No interview after that. Okay, I took up that, and I went through 18 months of rigorous training in that particular company. And after 18 months, I was said that there is no vacancy you'll have to go. And I was really, saddened, and I didn't know what to do now. But as luck always has it, very same day, this company actually makes a lot of centrifugal pumps for the industry. They make firefighting systems and textile and food machinery. It was one of the most reputed companies in that particular field. So they had supplied a lot of pumps to Andhra Pradesh Electric Supply, where they were constructing a 210 megawatt power station at Kondapalli near Vijayawada. So they wanted somebody to come and set up those pumps there, commission them, make sure they run all right and all that. So they had sent a telegram in those days, and they said, we want urgently somebody. So the general manager there, I used to do one thing every day. When he used to come on the shop floor, I used to say, good morning sir. And he had remembered me not by name, only by that good morning. So then he called all the managers on the shop floor, and they said, okay, we want to send somebody. So everyone was saying, sir, nobody is ready to go and all that. Then he said, the pale looking fellow, he tells me good morning every day, you call him and you send him. So that was a turning point in my life. I went to Andhra Pradesh, I did my job, I came back. And by then the general manager realized that we have got to give service to the customers, product service. So they put me into that slot of service engineer, and from there the career started. I was confirmed in the company, and later on, for some other reasons, I left that company. I went to KSB Pumps, which is a German company. I had a 2-year stint there. From there again I was called back by the same general manager. He was head of the work. He said, you please come back, I have trained you, so you better come back. So I went back, and he gave me a responsibility of setting a project engineering division. I said, okay fine, that's a good responsibility. So I didn't know anything about projects. Later on, we spent almost 4 years trying to get at least one order for project for the company, because the trend had changed. Nobody wanted this engineering equipment alone. They wanted as a system. Like if you are doing a pumping scheme, then I want pump, motor, cables, crane, transformers, So that kind of expertise was not there. My only asset was I used to go as a service engineer to many of these power plants, nuclear, thermal, hydel, irrigation places, and process industry. So I used to keep watching all the systems. So I had that, it's called the picture behind my back. If somebody talks about a system, then what is it? Although I was not expert in those. But then he had sensed that this guy has got exposure to that field, let him handle it. And for 4 years, we were bidding, we were estimating, bidding, no success. In 1991, we got the first order, and from there I had never looked back. I was working in that company till 1998. In 1995, by 1995 we had got jobs for Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation, for Bombay Municipal Corporation, Bangalore Water Supply, Hyderabad Metropolitan Water Supply. So everywhere, and these are all niche jobs. They are very tough jobs to do. So we had good experience. In 1995 we got a ad in the paper. There was a World Bank tender being floated for Mombasa water supply in Kenya. It was a World Bank aided job. And then he said, now that you are getting so many orders, why don't you try to go abroad and get some more? So we said, okay, but Mombasa and that Kenya is a very dangerous place. And this particular plant was in a very remote area. So they said, okay, go and do site recce. You first decide, should we quote for this? Even if you quote, if you get the job, can you do it? So I went there with one of my friends. And really that place was very horrible. I mean, like even a fly sits on your skin, you will get a rash. There are all wild animals everywhere. It was in thick jungle, and we were supposed to rehabilitate the job. But I said to myself, if I say no today, then I am losing an opportunity. So let me say yes. देखा जाएगा बाद में. पहला bid तो करो, get the job. If you get the job, then you have got so many things which you can do. And it did happen that way. We said yes. The management allowed us to go and bid. They gave us the bank guarantee, everything. We went and bid for the job. We were lowest. And then for next 2 years, we executed this job. We had an international exposure with golf consultants, and World Bank people and all that. And that job was done absolutely successfully. But then somebody there, there was one guy called Shah, Nemchand Shah. He said, I am watching you guys, you are doing everything right from site recce, tendering, execution, and now completion of the job. You have got total pool of talent. So I said, yeah, then why are you working for a company? Why don't you start your something? And that was something, which I said, everything is fine, but where is the money? You don't have money to start even. But he said, no, aise hi hota hai, you better think in that line. So he left that small, call it that worm, which made me think again and again and again. So by it took me 2 years before I could really take a call. In 1998, I gave up my job and I started with baby steps into business. I mean, known people, known customers, we used to get some small jobs. And the first job, I was very lucky. The first job in 1998 itself was worth 80 lakhs. And the party was very supportive. They gave us advance, everything went off well. And that was the beginning. From Kenya, Uganda, Mozambique, Malawi, Zambia, Nigeria, everywhere. And all hardships, nothing to eat sometimes. If you go to a restaurant, they will not be able to serve you anything. We used to tell them, okay, cook rice, put tomato sauce on that and give it as a But that passion was there. Passion was not to leave it because of the hardships. So we went on and doing. Then later on, we were getting in touch with a lot of world-known consultants. The Indian one was Tata Consulting Engineers. We had golf consultants, we had Lamer consultants from UK. So like that, we were doing that job very quietly, not talking about it much anywhere. But then somehow in the market that news spreads. There is a team, there is a small group which can handle this kind of, highly technical jobs where consultants are required to be satisfied and then execution on them. So we got an Indian reference where they came looking for us. That time my office was only 10 by 12 in my house. One room I had converted into an office. So they came, it was Dhanadra Deshi. It was 7 o'clock in the evening and the company's name was Lakshmi Engineering. So I still remember, and my colleague was playing that Kannada song, very famous song, Baramma Lakshmi, something like that. And virtually, that Lakshmi came into my house, into the office. And they gave us first job of Shirpur Municipal Corporation, which was worth 70 lakhs. I got it on platter, I didn't try for it. But later on then I thought, okay, export is fine, but how long you can go? How long you can go to these countries and keep on doing this? Because as age catches up, you may not be able to handle it. So we started looking domestically. And from there, we did jobs for near Afzalpur. So what was it? Algi irrigation for KNNL. We did Sonna irrigation for KBJNL. We did Idga Sangam irrigation for KBJNL. And then jobs around Goa, Pune and all that. Later on, I did want to grow, but still it was not possible. Because no bank will fund you because of your financial status or the quality of your balance sheets or whatever. So you start learning, that's a learning curve. Why these people won't support you. I mean, I have gone to so many banks, but they will not give you much. But later on then, okay, they are not giving, so whatever money you earn, you put it in the form of asset. Not spend it. Put it in the form of asset. And later on, I think by 2014-15, one of my brother's son, nephew, he was working with Nissan Motors and he was posted in Nordic countries as in charge for those 4 countries there for Nissan Motors. He started toying with an idea, I also want to join your business. Sir, you cannot join my business because you are an automobile person, I am engineering expert. But we'll think about it. And as he came back from there for a holiday, it was a Diwali time. And on the Diwali time again, as I said, I don't know, the Dhanatradesh is very lucky for me. So on Dhanatradesh day, there was an ad in paper, in local paper, that Tata Motors wanted a dealer in Kolhapur, because Kolhapur dealer was not performing well and they were losing a lot of market share. And there was a big note at the bottom, prior experience not required. I said there is a catch here because we don't know what dealership, what automobile is. I said, but this line is fine. I said, let us apply for it. So we downloaded the form, filled it. They wanted us to give some location. हमने सब location वगैरह सब कुछ दे दिया. I said, let's see how it goes. Then their dealer development person came. He talked to us. Said, what are your financials, credentials? I said, this is what it is. You don't seem to be having too much of a chance. I said, doesn't matter. But at least our application to le lo. And they took our application. And then in the regional Bombay office, they did the sorting of applications. And we were kept as number 3. 3 tender lagta hai, so first, second, third. And then they called us for an interview there. They asked us, do you know any dealership? I said, I know nothing. My nephew knows. He's an automobile person. But we will come up to your expectations. Give us a chance. He said, the only chance I can give you is I'll put you across to the president of the company and you don't have a chance. You are only supporting bid because somebody else is already probably going to get that dealership. I said, fair enough. So they gave us an appointment with the president and it was my pleasure to be in Bombay House where Ratan Tata sits, and we went there for an interview. It was a big delegation from Tata Motors to interview us, and we were 4 or 5 of us. We are all professionally qualified engineers. My son has done MBA Finance, one of my Jamai son-in-law has done, he is an investment banker. So we had gone as a team. So when they learned about us, the president said, this is the first time in my life I have seen professional coming and asking for a dealership. So I said, fair enough, but we will take it, and if you give us, we will do justice to that opportunity. Then they said, sorry, we cannot give you because your financials are not all that strong to take on Kolhapur dealership. I said, fair enough, doesn't matter. We got a chance, you called us, it is our honor. We went back. Next day morning I went back to Pune, and I think at around 9 o'clock I got a call from Tata Motors again. Said, sorry, we cannot give you Kolhapur dealership. I said, fair enough, no issues. No, but our president has told you to give a dealership somewhere. So I said, where? No, you tell the place or I will tell the place, you see if you can do it. Then they gave us choice of Satara, Ratnagiri, Panvel, Ahmednagar. Somehow, I was not very financially strong, but I started displacing from Pune and then going and setting up there, disturbs complete family, children, and again putting new money into a house and this and that. It doesn't make it viable to do such a business. So we told them, sorry, we cannot accept this. Then again next day I got a call, the president has told you find out a place where you can do it in this. Wow. Then I told my nephew, kuch to karna padega. I will not let it go. Now it is taking some momentum. So then we scouted for places around Pune where we can afford to set up a place. So then he did a lot of searching this, that, and we decided on Chakan. Chakan is a next industrial hub near Pune. In fact, Pune industry is actually shifted to Chakan, and that was in a very infant stage. There was not a single dealer, automobile dealer in that area, not a single one. So we made a PPT, we went again to the president, we presented to him, said, can you guys really sell vehicles there? There's nobody there. So we'll at least sell 30 vehicles. If you don't sell 30 vehicles, we will be finished because whatever investment we do, there will be no return on that. He said, okay, go ahead. He gave us that opportunity, he gave us 3 months time, so we built from scratch to a dealership in 3 months flat. Since in projects, I knew how to construct and get out of it in time. We started our dealership in 2016 Means that is when the business was started. And Tata actually had no models, real good vehicles to sell. I mean, everyone knows about Indica, Indigo and Safari and all in those days. And we were not even in first 10. Tata brand was not even being counted in first 10 of the automobile leaders. I said, fine, हमारे पास भी कहाँ पैसा है, so जो मिलता है we'll sell. But then, I think in 2016 itself, first Tiago was launched. And from there on, the perception didn't change. Tata means people used to just catch window shopping karke, they used to go away. But later on, Tata actually was a dark horse, which we realized. Because whatever we, in the meetings, in the dealer meetings or meetings with the president or chairman, they used to give us complete what they are going to do in next few years and all that. So there was a big lineup of advanced automobile and all that, and Tata's had purchased JLR. So JLR technology crept into Tata Motors and they are making world-class vehicles now, you can see on the road. The old ones have been totally scrapped. No more vehicles have been built on those platforms. What Tatas are not doing is all JLR technology they are adopting into Indian conditions at half the price. So if you want to drive a Discovery Sport will cost you alone around 40-50 lakhs of rupees. But if you drive a Tata Harrier or a Safari, it is at half the price. And I don't know how many of you have driven those vehicles, but they are excellent, world class. And that's how the journey is started. Tatas today are at number 2, number 3 position. They make 20 minutes. Okay. They make. They are the market leaders in EV, and the lineup is really great. You will see it unfolding in next 4-5 years. So this my journey actually into entrepreneurship. I will take you through what we are doing now. Dr. Abdul Kalam had said, within reasonable limits, anyone can achieve whatever he desires in life, provided he or she is willing to give up everything else to achieve that one thing. I don't believe in taking right decisions, but I take decisions and then make them right. For becoming an entrepreneur, you need, I have classified as C's and P's. Under the C, it is curiosity, then you have to have creativity, you have to have a character, you have to have courage, and you also have to have, most important is conviction. Never give up. And to achieve this, you have to have passion, you have to have positive energy, think positive, then you have to have good people around you or in your organization. You have to be having your own principles. And lastly, perseverance. Patience is a big waiting game which ultimately gives you the result. This is how Shriddha has grown. 1998 we started Shriddha Engineering. Then Shriddha Motors we added in 2015. In 2019 we have added Shriddha Auto. Great things takes time. Be patient and never give up. This is top line of Shriddha Group. We have approximately 250 employees. 1920 we were at almost 58 crores. 2021 90 crores. 21-22 we closed at 110. This year we have targeted 200 crores. And next year another addition of 10-20%. So we are going now it's taken off. So we'll keep this juggernaut going. I don't know how long, but it's going. These are the banks. There was one point of time where banks were never giving us even 10 lakhs. But today I am very proud and happy that I have got a credit line of 26 crores from these banks. Canara, ICICI, State Bank, Tata Capital, Tata Motor Finance, Aditya Birla. In fact, they come and they are after us, you take some more money from us. We have paid GST, and these are figures for last 3 years. We have paid, contributed to the national, almost 62 crores of GST. This is after value addition. Okay, input credit is not in this. This is only our payment. Overall income tax paid is 1.18 crores. We have created 250 jobs so far. We are trying to raise the standard of living of our employees as they create their own assets such as house, vehicles, education, etc. Promoting vendor business, we are supporting the vendors. and contributing to MSME sector. This is what I do: turnkey contracts execution for 132, 33 and 11 kV substations, turnkey contract execution for complete pumping schemes for irrigation and water supply, water hammer and surge separation analysis, supply and installation. Shriddha Engineering is associated with Hindustan Construction Company, Lakshmi Civil Engineering Services, Southeast Construction, Bhakia Construction, Ultracon Construction, PVR projects. We are working in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Goa and Karnataka. These are some of the snaps. You will get insight into what exactly we are doing. This is part of pumping schemes. This is treatment plants, substations, surge systems there, electrical part of it, panels. Then Shriddha, under Shriddha Motors, we have Tata Motors passenger vehicles, Tata Motors electric vehicles, Piaggio commercial vehicles. We have sold over 5,300 vehicles in 6.5 years. Next target is 5,300 vehicles in next 3 years, because the market has grown now. We have serviced over 35,000 vehicles in this last 5-6 years. These are the new vehicles which are being launched by Tata. This is the Kaziranga edition. This EV. The next Avinya is going to come, which will be actually beating Tesla. Tesla won't have any market in India once Avinya is launched. We have this Curve which is coming, it will be a Creta competitor. We were awarded by Tata Motors several times. These are some of the awards. My son and my nephews taking that. The awards were given for highest sales in new products, Tier 3 city. Photo with chairman, Mr. Chandrasekharan. My nephew is part of SIFT, that is called Strategic Forum. He gives inputs to Tata Motors for betterment of sales and service and all that. I mean, we are on board of that particular forum. These are awards we have won, national awards. Highest targets achievement, highest sales of new product launch, highest growth in service inflow, highest conversion ratio, lowest customer complaints, increase in corporate sales penetration. We are also authorized and exclusive distributor for PCMC for Castrol lubricants. Approximate sale currently is 60,000 liters per month. Totally we have 1800 dealers under us. This is the growth. 1920 we had 252,000 liters, then 427, 487, now we are doing 577 this year. These are the awards we won in Shri for Shriddha Auto, best distributor. Now finally, entrepreneurship, what do you need? Basically it is a multitasking. Be ready to take on all responsibilities. Strict vigilance on accounts and taxation. You just cannot sleep if you don't do this. Otherwise, you better don't become an entrepreneur. Legalities are often ignored. See, people, they think entrepreneurship is a Marwadi business. Shop owner. वो शाम को जाके देखता है कितना पैसा सब लेके जेब में डाल के चलता है. He doesn't bother about anything else. That is not correct. You cannot become a good entrepreneur if you do that. Tax and legal statutory compliance is a must. Ups and downs in business are very important to keep us going, because straight line even in ECG means we are not alive. Profit is not always in cash. I think this is one point which everyone should look at. It is never in cash, it is in inventory, it is in debtors, it is in current assets. Build the corpus steadily. Don't risk more than you can afford to lose. If you are starting a business, please make sure that you know how much you can lose. Don't start your business before that. Dream big, start small, but most important of all, start. Because I have seen people only talking about business or entrepreneurship, but they never start. So at least start the course with some small steps. If you have never tried, how will you ever know if there was any chance? You have to try. A lot of Ajits have actually tried failed, but then again come back. It's a good thing. Business has a lot of glamour. Now this is one very important thing which I want to share. Once you become a successful entrepreneur or businessman, a lot of glamour comes. People create assets which are actually going to be depreciating. You should never do that. You create assets which are going to be appreciating, and never create assets from liabilities. Some of my friends have done that and they have collapsed. You create assets, you create liabilities from assets. Once you create an asset, then go to the bank, create a liability, use it in your business. After you have been successful or when you are successful, be very humble. Don't try to show off that I am chairman, managing director of this company, and be considerate to others also. Do not get scared, plan, execute properly. Entrepreneurship is neither a science nor an art, it's a practice. You will never find any books which can actually teach you entrepreneurship, but you practice it. You will become a successful entrepreneur. And every Indian has a potential and is a potential entrepreneur and can be a promoter at any stage. So believe in your destiny. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I know we have a little bit, just 10 seconds overshot, that's perfectly fine. But can we have 1 or 2 questions if anybody wants to ask?
No, you must ask questions, yeah. It's meant for that. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Puneet. So, sir, I'm I think kind of privileged to hear your story for the second time. So, one question was, you told that we should say yes and pick up any opportunity that we get. But also when you had an opportunity to take up Tata Motors dealership in a different area, you did not take it. So there's a bit of contradiction. Of course, there are some decisions that you would have taken. So basically what I'm trying to come to is, there are certain reasons assigned to every decision. Sometimes it could be because of choice, sometimes it could be because of no choice. What are those lessons or those inputs you want to give us when someone has to make a decision? Because I feel in entrepreneurship, as you go higher and higher, it's all about decision making. It's mostly about saying yes and even more about saying no.
See, if you see the first sentence there, what does it say? Don't risk more than you can afford to lose. So while these opportunities did come to me for out of Pune, my conviction was that probably I might lose and I cannot afford to lose that much. I had something which I could afford to lose, but not that much. So that decision, as you asked me, why did you not take that? So I cannot lose because I had started constructing an empire and I should not take a wrong step. See, entrepreneurship, it's a calculated risk. Okay, so at any point of time, no matter how small or big you are, you have to calculate that risk and you have to manage the risk. So here I found that risk was probably not manageable for me. So either they give me another choice or I look at some other business. But as luck would have it, we had that impact on the president, so he gave us another choice and then we have made it successful.
It was not a luck, it was not your luck. You impressed them with your professionalism.
Yes, sir, that is Senate school.
You got the team together, finance, engineering and business, everything.
Sir, if you give me 1 more minute, I'll just talk about the team. Actually, after the school, I was still staying in my village in Satara district and I used to be really worried about the whole atmosphere and the loans, like Captain Sir said, he too had to come out of that in 3 years' time. So it was a family matter. But then I always thought that this is not the solution to life. The solution to life is that you come out of this place, raise your platform, put everyone on that platform so that they can take off from there. Now how does it work? So when I got married, my wife told the only way you can do that is to educate the next generation. So I had my elder brother and younger brother, and every child, I took them to Pune with me and we saw that they are all engineers, well placed, and by that time I was building this empire. So when they were all educated and matured to take on jobs, I had a ready-made team which could fall into all these businesses. They, their wives, my daughter, my wife and my daughter managed complete accounts of this 200 crores company. And the chartered accountant, he comes, he says, I have never seen this kind of a setup where I just come and tally the accounts and then I do the balance sheet. That much they work. My nephew, my son, my son is in MBA finance. My nephew is an MBA sales from Symbiosis. So they have taken care of the marketing, sales and all that. My sister's son handles the service. So if you see in the business, I have planted virtually every person of my family to do a job. And that is what the success story is all about. See, today if you want to do business, actually first problem is, apart from finance, you don't get good people. And next is trustworthy people. Now if you don't have these two, it is very difficult to run a business. You might set up everything, but then ultimately somebody will ditch you. But then there is a saying again, that when a rocket is launched, your target is to reach moon or Mars, wherever. You have so many boosters around it, maybe 3, 4, 5, the main tank. And it keeps shedding some tanks as it goes to a particular elevation. So business, maybe you lose a lot of colleagues or your associates or employees, but they are the boosters to your target. Okay, they have, your client say some 1,000 miles, एक निकल गया, you travel another 1,000 miles, another निकल गया. Ultimately, as a main this thing, you go up. So don't get, don't become sentimental. अरे ये छोड़ के गया, how can I sustain? वो छोड़ के गया, how can I sustain? So you are being pushed up every time. Doesn't matter that fellow is left. Doesn't matter. You continue your journey, and ultimately you will reach your destination. So that is what your mindset has to be all about this. Entrepreneurship, I think almost 70-80% of what you do is your mindset. And then after the mindset, it is your conviction and the patience. You have to patiently wait for that to happen. Okay, so take from this, anybody, like my history may not be very relevant to all these new IT people who are sitting here. But I'm sure they will have a similar journey in their own fields. But these values will always be with you. If you don't have these values, you will suffer. So please stick to your principles, stick to your convictions, have patience. Don't use money for showing your glamour. Use your money for investing in the business. Don't take out money. I have grown so much, but I'm still drawing a salary from the company, what I used to do 10 years back. Because drawing a salary and increasing your loan in the bank, you're actually losing money. So you draw a salary which is just enough to run your setup or your house, that's all. Unless you have these convictions, I really don't know how far you can go. One can go rather. So with this, I'd like to close.
I have one more question.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes,